2 stories I'd like to share. This first one happened right after my grandpa passed away from cancer a few years ago now, in 2017. It was like a few weeks after his funeral, and I'd come to visit his grave. He was buried in a really old cemetery where his other family members were also buried. So I was visiting, and it was pretty bright outside. I lit a candle that I had brought, and in this cemetery there was this old church building. It was now abandoned. But as I lit the candle, I looked at this church building and I noticed something. In the window, I noticed an older woman, late 80s, or even her early 90s. Of course, I was shocked to see her there because, again, this church thing is abandoned, and it's pretty much not safe to go inside. So I walked closer to the building. I was basically keeping an eye on this building. There was only one possible exit route, and that was the front part of the building that you couldn't really get to safely due to the floor being very old and just broken. So I walked even closer to this building, and I looked back on the window, and she's still there. And as I'd gotten to the entrance, where you could pretty much see inside this place, she just fucking vanished. I, of course, called out. I asked the basics, if she needed help, if there was anyone there. No response. I waited there for a while, and I looked around the building, confused and slightly freaked out by this whole thing. After a while, I decided to go back to my grandfather's grave. This happened like 5 years ago now, when we were still living in an apartment building on the 7th floor. We had a balcony in our home, and the neighbor's balcony was removed a few months before this happened. So basically, I was out with a friend of mine. I received a call from my little sister that there was someone in the house. I immediately panicked since she and my younger brother are home by themselves. I was very much still nearby, so my friend and I got to my house rather quickly. We listened to my sister tell us what they heard. A few toys had fallen over in my brother's room while they were playing video games in the living room. This, of course, didn't alarm them too much, but they continued playing until more noises came from that room. And then they hear something in the hallway. They stop the game to listen, and they hear footsteps as clear as day a few moments later. This is the moment when they freak out, run to the bathroom, lock themselves in there, and call me and our mom. So after they explain this to me and my friend, we go look in my brother's room with my siblings following us close behind. And of course, I told my friend to grab a baseball bat, just in case we did find something, and asked them to calm down my siblings. We go in there and look through every closet, every place that someone could hide in, and nothing came up. At this point, I'm questioning if my siblings had just heard the neighbors making noise, or if they got scared by their game, until my friend was looking into the hallway from the open door, and they were just staring at something. I notice this and I look at what she's seeing, but as I did, we heard running footsteps go from the hallway to the living room, out the balcony doors. On the balcony, we had these glass windows on the doors, and we heard the doors and the windows being pushed open and then hit the wall. My sister starts crying, and me and my friend run after whatever it is, only to find the balcony doors are open and the glass windows are wide open. We, of course, go look, and we find nothing on the balcony or in the living room. Until my friend pointed out that on the window there was this metal bar, and it had pollen collected on it. And on that bar were handprints, like someone had grabbed it and nothing else. We were so confused by this. We heard what we heard, and I asked my friend, what had she seen? She claims that she had seen a jacket move in a weird way in that empty hallway, and that she saw something. I tried to ask her what she had seen more than once, but she refused to tell me. Our friendship ended soon after this incident due to other issues between us, but this incident definitely put the last nail in the coffin for us. This story isn't personally mine. I came in after the fact. I'm a custodial supervisor for about 30 employees at a college. I have this one employee who's a skeptic. She doesn't believe in ghosts or anything supernatural. She'd made this very clear on several occasions. I had her cover the library for a week when someone was on vacation. So it wasn't a building she spent a lot of time in before. But she still knew enough at the time that she was fine on her own. One morning, around 4:30 a.m., she calls and asks, "What time do the staff start to show up here?" I go on to tell her they start to show up between 7 and 8 a.m. I could then tell that she was flustered by her reply. "No, you're wrong. They're here now. Someone's in the bathroom. They're in there making noise, walking around, flushing the toilets. I hear them." I'm like, "Yeah, no one should be in there. Go in and see." "No, I'm not going in there. Get over here and tell them to get out," was her response. So I'm like, "Okay, I'll be there in 2 minutes. I'll stop by." I get there, and she's standing in front of the bathroom, and she's yelling at me to go in and tell this person to get out of the bathroom, that they shouldn't be down there. I walk in the bathroom, check every stall, come out of the bathroom, and I look her in the eye, and I tell her, "Nope, no one's in there." She then accused me of lying, said that there's no way, said that she'd been standing in front of the door the whole time, and she didn't see anyone leave. And she heard the same noises till right before I got there. I told her to relax. It wasn't a big deal. There was no one in there at all. That it was more than likely the normal library ghost. Of course, at first, this didn't get me anywhere. She still didn't really believe that no one was in there. I then went on explaining to her why I say it was a ghost. Years ago, in the 70s or 50s, I won't lie, I can't remember which now, they'd been doing some work on the elevator. Unfortunately, a little girl who was in the library with her father fell down and died at the bottom. So basically, the basement. I even showed her the plaque that was for the little girl. The bathroom that she heard everything in was in the basement, right across from the elevator, no more than 10 feet from where the little girl died. This happened a couple of years ago, and just last month, the same employee was going on about ghosts not being real, and then I reminded her about her time in the library. And then she admitted that every time she's in that building, cleaning in the morning, she makes a point to tell them not to bug her, to leave her alone, or they have to help her work. Though she still sticks to the same, they don't exist.